Alright, now in today's video I'm going to be showing you why women hate to be loved by men. And I think this is so funny because everybody right now is saying these things like, men today don't have confidence with women, or the issue is that men don't have confidence with women, or the issue is men don't have very good social skills to talk to girls. That is not the issue. The issue is that you literally desire to talk to them in the first place. That's your first recipe for disaster, because guess what? You cannot try to create a relationship with someone where the more you like them, the less they fundamentally like you. And on top of that, when you start to see that their words do not match their actions, because deceit is oftentimes rooted into their mating strategy to test hypergamy and to test your interest level, you're going to see how almost every single belief that you have regarding love, regarding female nature, regarding dating, regarding relationships is completely backwards. And this is why almost every single guy today that you see is sitting there going, how do I get a girlfriend? How do I maintain her interests? How do I have better game? If you're asking those questions, you are literally trying to win a game that is designed for you to fail. So what I'm going to show you in today's video is an entirely new paradigm shift so you can actually see relationships from a new lens that will serve you much better, and on top of it, you will be a lot happier. Now, on top of that, we just crossed over 900 members inside of our community, inside of our movement. I'm helping men actually understand the language of women. I invite you to join us inside of this after today's video, because I'm watching these guys' dating lives change for the better. I put my entire heart and soul into building this community, and this right here is a project that has been months in the making. Rest assured you will love it. All right, let's dive in. I'll show you how I discovered this and everything that goes into it. So this is why women hate to be loved by men. Okay, so over the years, I found one specific cheat code to attraction. So as I got older, I started to notice certain things. Okay, so I noticed this. The less emotion that I would show with my voice or with my speech, or the less care that I showed, okay, the less vocal tone changes. So I'll give you an example. Hey, how are you? Right? Big vocal tone change. The less vocal tone changes, the less I cared, and more I kept my mood at a neutral state of about 5 to 7. So let's say number 1 of your mood, like level 1 is like not very excited. Level 10 is like super excited, right? You just won the lottery, let's say. I noticed that the more I kept my mood at a neutral state or a neutral tone of about 5 to 7, the more that women would want to sleep with me. And specifically, they would want to keep sleeping with me. So what I would notice is the more excited I would get even about anything in life, the more her desire would typically fade. Now, the reason for this that I believe is because if they see that your mood and emotions can fluctuate, they're going to notice inconsistencies in your behavior. It's going to register as potential weakness. And now what they're going to use is interest tests at a deeper level to see if you will go weak for them and fall in love. So here's what I can tell you. They do not want you to like them. They do not want you to love them. Okay? You have to internalize this. They don't want you to like them, and they don't want you to love them. Now take this a step further. You have to look at the world as a whole, and you say, okay, whoever created us, whether that be Mother Nature, whether that be God, whatever the case may be, what you'll start to see is they are not here to love you, and they are not here to like you. They're here to test your will to see if they can deceive you. So you're going to watch that play out in almost everything you do in life when it comes to your relationships with women, right? So this is why relationships actually do not exist the way you think they do or how you want them to. Okay, everything that you've been taught since you were a kid, right? You were taught that relationships are fun and easygoing and exciting. You're taught that relationships mean love. You're taught that both people like each other and they're going to stay together and naturally keep just helping each other. And then you see in the real world, this couldn't be further from the truth, which means how things play out is different from how you thought they would. Now, what that means is if you are still trying to adhere to the narrative that you were taught, and you're trying to find a game or a system or a method of making that work, you're also going to be in for a rude awakening, because that entire narrative is a game that cannot be won. That entire narrative is a game that you will only fail at, because essentially you're in the wrong paradigm. You're in a paradigm where the outcome is 100% destined for your failure. Okay, so here's what you have to know. It is fundamentally impossible to have a relationship with someone where the more you like them, the less they like you. Like, this is the biggest thing you have to understand, because this is going to change the terms of the relationship completely. So here's how I kind of look at this, right? Would you want to be in a relationship with somebody who, let's say you have a dude friend, right? You and your friend Frank, let's say, go to your favorite sushi restaurant every week, right? You and your friend Frank go get sushi every week, right? And then all of a sudden you notice Frank one day steals your credit card. Are you going to want to have a relationship with someone who is not looking out for your best interest? The answer is no. You and that guy would probably not talk anymore. So why would you want to try to attempt to have a relationship, okay, with someone where their entire words are meant to deceive you, and their entire method of achieving that emotional leverage and the gain and the value from you is solely based on if you are led astray and you follow what they claim they want? It's impossible. So it is fundamentally impossible to have a relationship with someone where the more you like them, the less they like you. So here's what I can tell you. Their words towards you in all ways, shapes, and forms. I don't care if it's text messages. I don't care if it's phone calls. I don't care if it's in real life. Their words towards you will forever be a contradiction to their actions. What you're up against forever is the entire narrative of, hey, please bite from the fruit too. Okay, and then guess what happens? Your life goes south really quick. So their words towards you will forever be a contradiction of their actions. What that means is the root of all of their words is going to be emotional manipulation to get you to change your path, deceiving you, and acting oblivious to it. Now this is the funniest thing. Acting oblivious to it. The more you recognize this for yourself, don't even try to talk about it. Don't even try to explain it. Because all that's going to happen is if you're dating a woman, she's going to act completely oblivious to it. She's going to say, you're wrong, that's not true, that's just your past experiences with other women that you've dated. And then what's going to happen is, watch, you're going to attempt to break all of these rules that I'm trying to teach you, and then the girl that you're dating is going to do the same stuff too. Because once again, that's what manipulation looks like, is deceiving you. So you have to be smarter than this. If she is taking on the narrative of Eve 24/7, you're basically being tested to see if you're stupid enough to be Adam and listen to her. The second you start listening to her and what she claims she wants, she can't love you anymore because hypergamy is not satisfied because you were able to be fooled. You see, this is why I created my community, because what I'm getting guys to do, or what I'm having guys do, is exit the current paradigm that they're in with the false preconceived notions of love. Help them understand the language of women so that way they can see the world from a new lens and actually have real relationship results where the woman that they're with actually wants to stay with them. So you basically have to understand this language of women if you want to have a family one day, if you want to actually be successful in life, if you want to make sure that the fruits of your labor pay off and you can build something amazing for yourself without having your emotional world crumble because you've brought the wrong woman into it. You see, this is real life shit that I'm talking about, and that's why we now have over 900 guys together. And if you see that page that I have in my description, or if you go to the description and you see what I made for you, you will see testimonial after testimonial. There's so many guys having success. But nevertheless, you have to understand this. Their words towards you will forever be a contradiction of their actions. So here's what I can tell you. The entire strategy that they have is to gain the leverage. And that means hypergamy is only satisfied when you're a man who cannot be deceived. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how much your bank balance is. I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't care if you're very good looking. I don't care if you have perfect teeth. I don't care if you have perfect fashion. I don't care. If you show that you're easily able to be deceived, or even deceived in any way, shape, or form, she's going to lose desire for you, and the interest test will get more severe where you're going to watch her entire mood shift because now she doubts your value. So people today, in general, when you see content online or you hear people talking with each other, there's all these things they say, and a lot of it is total bullshit. So people today think that there's a confidence issue or there's a social skills issue going on right now with men. They're like, oh, guys today don't have as much confidence. Okay, here's the fact. Confidence isn't the issue. The issue is that you desire to talk to them in the first place. Because here's what I can tell you. If you're actually on your path, right, in life, if you're actually on your God-given path, if you're actually in alignment with your purpose, well, here's what's going to happen. You don't need to go looking for women. They'll find you because you're a man who's doing the right things. So you don't need to go looking. She'll find you, trust me, okay? When you're doing great in life, expect a woman 100% to come into your world in some way, shape, or form and try to take you off that path, okay? The more you got it going on in life, the more she says, hey, how can I get at this guy? So this is what I'm telling you. The overarching concepts of dating, lust, relationships, this is a game that you cannot win. You're in the wrong paradigm. It's not like you can have success in any of those things that I just discussed. Currently living with the beliefs that you have about relationships and unconditional love, and one day if I find the right girl, she's going to like me. You have to understand that what you believe versus what plays out in the real world, it's not good or bad, it's just different. You have a different belief that probably needs to be shifted, okay? So here's what you have to look at too. You have to look at the why. Well, what does the why mean? If I come out with a bold claim with the title of this video and I say, here's why women hate to be loved by men, you might be sitting there asking, well, why? Why do they hate to be loved by men? If you're sitting there right now asking the question, why do women seem to hate to be loved by men? I will explain. Here's how you have to look at the world. Every conversation, every text message, every phone call, and every date that I'm on, I am sitting there asking myself, how is she currently using words, either consciously or subconsciously, to try to deceive me? How is she using her femininity? How is she using her beauty? How is she getting me to start to act differently? Okay? This is what I'm asking myself. Because her entire nature is to sit there and go, how can I get this guy to bite from the fruit too? Okay? How can I say something? How can I do something? How can I shift my tone of voice? Anything, right? How can I use my beauty? How can I use my words? How can I use my charm and my seduction? She's constantly testing your interest level to get you to change, to do what you shouldn't do. So here's what I can tell you. This is how this actually looks like in real life, or this is how this actually plays out. You say no to something. You say, no, we're not going to do that. And here's what it looks like. She sits there with a big smile on her face and she goes, please, daddy. That's what I mean. That's what it actually looks like. The vocal tone changes. She appears beautiful. She seems as if she wants you to do something. She appears as if she'll like you more if you do it. And then you do it, and she's totally going to lose respect and interest and desire for you. So women are not here to love you, okay? You have to accept that and you have to understand that. Women are here to test your will and your fortitude as a man. Women are here to see if they can get you to stray away from your God-given path and purpose. Women are here to see if they can test your will, to see if they can leave you weak or emasculated. Women oftentimes are here to see who is the best fit for them, and the best fit for them is only going to be the strongest man who cannot be deceived. So when I say strongest man, I'm not talking about your biceps or your bench press. I'm talking about your internal fortitude. She's constantly looking at you saying, what is this guy made of, right? So she's here to test if she can pull you away from your path and your purpose. So you cannot love them. She can only love you because you are strong enough to say no, which means you have willpower, you have strength, you have discipline. You're able to say no. You're not necessarily going to just fall head over heels in love with her just because she's beautiful. Now, you have to understand this on every level because you're constantly going to be tested. I don't care if it's the first date. I don't care if you're 10 years into marriage. She is going to be sitting there saying, how can I get this guy to change? How can I pull this guy off his path? So then you're going to have to ask yourself, well, what's the point of a relationship, right? There's a lot of points of a relationship. The point of a relationship is to make sure that you as a man are still in alignment with your calling, and she is actually able to come alongside you on that journey. And if you guys stay together, maybe there's children involved, something beautiful can happen, but regardless, those beautiful things can only happen if you understand this paradigm shift and this worldview that will serve you much better. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.